Welcome to episode 5 of our Red Sea cruise vlogs.
In this episode we start the day with a trip to Petra, one of the 7 wonders of the modern world, and we finish it with a fantastic Italian meal. In episode 4 we cruise through the Suez Canal. Now after another day at sea we arrive in Aqaba.
I got up before sunrise so I could film the sail into Aqaba. After leaving a vital piece of equipment at home, I managed to balance my GoPro on a table and stool. What you should be seeing here is a wonderful time-lapse video of the sail into Aqaba. However, I had it set on time-lapse photo and not video and now have 2,000 photos. Painful lesson learnt, but here's a little snippet of the sailing from my phone. The port of Aqaba was waking up and so was Paulie Morgan. We decided to have breakfast on the balcony and grabbed a couple of bacon rolls from the snack shack. Today is the day we go to Petra and we are really excited about that.
We could see from our balcony that the coaches had started to assemble down below in the car park, so we gathered up our stuff and headed off the ship. Just over 2 hours from Aqaba to Petra, so we made ourselves comfortable and watched the barren landscape go by.
King's Highway, and we're about an hour and a quarter into our journey to visit Petra.
Yeah, I'm here too. So let me just show you. Well, it's like barren here. There's our lovely friends Heather and Keith. Say hello.
At this stop, there's not only very clean toilets, but also a very large souvenir shop, a coffee shop, and don't worry if you haven't got the local currency, because they're more than happy to accept card payments. Back on the bus after our comfort break, and just a further hour until we arrived in Petra.
So we started our walk now. 4 kilometres, isn't it, Paulie?
Apparently, yeah.
Wow, 4 kilometres.
Well, I've got a piggyback off Carole before we get there. So this is it then. We're entering Petra.
We're going in.
A final toilet break and a pep talk from our very informative guide got us ready before we set off on our descent down into Petra. As soon as you start your descent towards the canyon, you'll encounter lots of horses, horse and carts and golf buggies. If you want to use the golf buggies or the horse and carts, that does come at additional cost. But if you want to ride on a horse, it's included in your ticket price, and all you're expected to do is to tip the person in charge of that particular horse. We personally don't endorse the use of animals for sightseeing, so we chose to walk. After a fair walk just before you reach the entrance to the canyon, you'll see your last opportunity to use the toilet. There won't be any more toilets until you get to the treasury, so do bear that in mind. I thought Carole was going to stop and have her photo taken with the two Nabatean guards, but unfortunately she walked straight past and left me standing there like a lemon. There's so much to look at as you're walking down through the canyon, but you do have to have your wits about you, because you might get run over by one of the horses or the horse and carriages or even a modified golf buggy, so do be careful.
We've been walking for ages now and we're still not at the treasury. We're hoping it's around the next corner.
Yeah, it's getting tired now.
Tired and thirsty. There it is, honey.
Now, let's wait. Enjoy this last 50 meters.
Finally, after all our hard work, we got our first glimpse of the treasury.
It's really hard to put into words how amazing this is, so we'll let the pictures do the talking.
This is what it's all about behind us now. I don't know what all the fuss is about really. I could have knocked that with hammer and chisel in a couple of days, I reckon.
Pretty impressive though, eh?
But on a serious note, this place is absolutely spectacular. It's believed to date back to the year 300 BC, and the actual facade of the treasury is 45 metres high. It was originally built to be a mausoleum or crypt. It came to be known as Al-Khazna, or the treasury, in the early 19th century by the area's Bedouins, as they believed it contained treasure. In front of the treasury, you'll also have the opportunity to meet some nice camels, to get some refreshments, or use the toilet if necessary. Just when we thought we'd walked far enough, our guide then told us we'd be heading further down the canyon to visit the Rose Red City. As we moved further down the valley, we encountered more souvenirs, more refreshment areas, and another set of toilets. This area is actually the capital city of the Nabateans, who were Arabs who dominated lands of Jordan during the pre-Roman times. They were responsible for carving the temples, tombs, and elaborate buildings out of solid rock thousands of years ago. Petra comes from the Greek word for stone, and the Rose Red City is so called because of the colour of the sandstone from which all the buildings and caves are carved from. It became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985. In 2007, it was declared as one of the new 7 Wonders of the World after 100 million people voted for it.
Still here.
We haven't turned around yet. I'm very tired.
So for our excursion, it was the end of the line and now time to turn round and head back up to civilization, which we're not looking forward to because it's all uphill.
So our 3 tips for this excursion are: wear comfortable shoes, wear sunscreen, and make sure you take plenty of water.
We've done it.
What's that?
Knackered, but very happy that we've been to Petra and seen the treasury and the other wonders, which is fab, isn't it?
Yeah, spectacular.
But it is a tough walk. We've just walked
5 miles.
5 miles, and it's down to go in and it's up to come out. So our legs are, I don't know if we're going to move from here actually, because I think we'll probably be stuck.
We are, because we're going to get some
Yeah,
sleep
but we
this
know,
time.
yeah. So lunch in a hotel across the way now, isn't
Yeah.
there? And then on the coach, we're back to our ship where I'm sure we might have a little snooze.
As part of the excursion, we had a late lunch at Petra Palace, which we thoroughly enjoyed. Back on the bus, and it wasn't long before Mr. Morgan was pushing out the Zeds. After another comfort break, we reached the ship just as the sun was going down. It was so good to get back to our junior suite, and there was only one thing left to do.
Oh my god, Petra, you've nearly broken me today. Long hot bath is what is in order before my limbs will work again. After a lovely hot bath, it was time for dinner, and we chose tonight the Italian at Restaurant 47. As we came out the lift, we bumped into fellow travel bloggers Mark and Marie. They say that great minds think alike, and they decided to go for an Italian as well.
We shared a table for 4 and had these delights. After our fabulous Italian meal, we headed to the pool deck to take in the view. We are overnight in Aqaba as a lot of passengers will be getting off tomorrow, including Mark and Marie.
As we've said in the past, we love the entertainment on the Discovery, but tonight we chose to sit on the pool deck and have some fun banter. We've really enjoyed Mark and Marie's company over the last week, and we certainly hope that our paths cross again. In the next episode, we explore Aqaba, and we also sample our first specialty restaurant on the Discovery. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notifications bell.
Thanks for watching!